The serve is probably one of the most challenging shots in tennis, but it's also one of the most rewarding shots in tennis when done right. In this series, we explore the key steps and processes to delivering a good, consistent serve every time. And so, with that, we will start with the stance. Position feet shoulder width apart. Front foot pointing slightly to the target net pole. Your back foot is parallel to the service line. You have the continental grip. Weight slightly shifted forward on your front foot. You're in a relaxed position. Repeat your serve ritual, which mine is bouncing the ball twice, and get ready to serve the ball. To begin the ball toss and the backswing, let's start with the weight on the front foot. You're in a relaxed position. The ball is resting on your finger and thumb pads. You lock your elbow on your tossing arm. You swing up and release the ball. Aim to toss at 12 o'clock on an imaginary face. The toss is 1 to 2 feet above the extended racket, and the toss is 6 inches in front of your front foot. As you start to take the racket back, your weight shifts from the front foot to the back foot. You can see the smooth backswing beginning here. As the racket starts to swing back, the ball toss starts to go up, and it's going to be right at 12 o'clock. It's going to be a few feet above the racket head, and about 6 inches in front of the baseline, or in front of my front foot. The swing starts. There's the halo position right there. That's where you want to get to. That's the power position. The racket will now drop. As you can see my weight coming up, the racket explodes into the ball. My knees are extended. My feet come off the ground. And the contact at the ball is where I snap my wrists at the top to complete the serve. I finish on my front foot. The racket finishes on the opposite side of my leg, of my body, and I come to a rested spot with both feet in the ready position. Key takeaways from our service lesson we just watched on the stance. So on the stance, you want to be relaxed. You want to have your feet shoulder width apart with your front foot facing towards the net and the box that you're going to be serving in. Again, you're in a relaxed position. You're focusing on your target and where you're going to serve the ball. These are the important elements of the stance. The key takeaways for the ball toss. Your elbow will be locked on the tossing arm of your non-dominant hand. You'll hold the ball in the non-dominant hand. The ball is resting on the finger and thumb pads, not in the palm, and you toss upwards, aiming at 12 o'clock, of 1 to 2 feet above your extended racket and 6 inches in front of your front foot. When I refer to releasing the ball at 12 o'clock, imagine this clock face in front of you facing the net, and your job is to release the ball at 12 o'clock. So it's directly in front of you and should make for a very consistent serve if your toss is at 12 o'clock. To have a consistent serve, the ball release must be released during the toss in the same manner. As you can see in the picture, I'm just about ready to release the ball, and the target has already been set. The clock face is at 12 o'clock. The ball will be released, but it's critical that the ball release does not put any spin on the ball, either forward spin or backward spin. The ball should be released with no spin at all, and we're going to look at how to do that next. The ball is held lightly in your finger pads and your thumb pad, almost creating a prong where the ball sits up in the prong, and it's away from your palm. It's not a very tight grip. It's more of a loose grip so that you can release the ball easily, as I'll show you on the next step. The ball is simply released at the top of your toss by extending your fingers open, as shown in this picture, simply allowing the ball to let the force of your arm take the ball up, and it's not your wrist and it's not your hand. Okay, it's time for a test. It's recommended before you move on to the next section of the serve training, you can successfully toss the ball with no spin, hit the 12 o'clock target, hit the 6 to 8 inches in front of your front foot, 1 to 2 feet above your extended racket. Try 100 tosses at first and see how many times you can hit the target. If you can't hit it at least 90 tosses in the target, try another 100 tosses. Do this without the racket and don't try to hit the ball. Continue until you can get 90 tosses in the target zone. I'm just telling you as a coach, this is the number one problem for hitting an effective, consistent, powerful serve. So trust me, follow this until you can get 90 out of 100 in that target and then go to the next lesson. Congratulations on your new ball toss. Hopefully it looks something like this. This is the example. You can see the release of the ball where my hands are completely extended out. My arm is at full height. The ball is actually on its way up. My weight has actually rocked backwards. You can see the racket getting ready to be pulled up into the power position for the most important and exhilarating part of the serve, which is getting into that trophy position, getting the halo over your head, and getting ready to take that big swing upwards. Okay, here it is. We have arrived at the trophy position. The trophy position, as you can see, the racket is directly over my head with the face closed. This is called the halo position. My arm is straight up from the toss, so you'll see the shoulders are at a 45-degree angle, tilted down. My knees are bent, and I'm just getting ready to explode up into this ball so I can really crack a good serve. And so this is the ultimate position that you want to arrive at before you make contact with the ball. Coming out of the trophy position, you can see now my legs are fully extended, my feet are off the ground, meaning I pushed myself up forward to meet the ball. The racket is right at its drop position, and you can see that my tossing arm is now moved out of the way so that as I swing the racket forward, I won't hit my hand, and I'm just about ready to strike the ball. We have made contact with the ball. The ball has actually been struck, and you can see its flight leaving my racket. Now, the interesting thing about this is the ball is actually struck well above my head, and you can see the trajectory of the ball is like at an upward angle. That's because us shorter people, we need to hit up on the ball to get it to clear the net. So there's nothing wrong with this because the ball is going to safely come in and land in the square. But how does that happen? How does the ball actually come down with a trajectory where the ball is actually going up? Let's take a look at that next. As you can see in this picture, after the ball has been struck, the racket actually is forced down with a turn of your wrist. So now you can see the racket is actually closed coming across my body for the finish of the serve to complete the circle. And you can even see the trajectory of the ball is coming down due to the spin and the downward force after applying this wrist snap at the top of the strike. So this is how the ball actually comes down after being hit up in the air. The serve is now complete. As you can see, I've landed successfully on my front foot. The racket is now facing the outside of my outer leg, and I'm just about ready to come to the ready position as this serve is complete, and it was a successful serve. The serve is now complete. As you see, both feet are now aligned, getting ready to do the split step and get back to the center of the court as you need to do after every serve. And if you've seen the footwork drills, then you understand what comes next. I get my landed position, perform the split step, and then scramble back to the center of the court. It's time to take your serve to the court for some practice. When you get to the court, get up on the service line and get yourself into a nice, comfortable stance. Your feet are shoulder width apart. Ensure you have the continental grip, which again is the hammer grip or the handshake grip. And if you can't remember the exact grip, just refer back to our grip section for a quick refresher. You want to practice your ball toss before swinging. Try to get 10 to 12 good tosses on target before you start to swing. Before you do the complete serve, loosen your shoulder by lightly swinging your service motion about 9 or 10 times just to get your shoulder loose. Toss the ball up and begin your backswing so you end up in the trophy position or the power position where the racket is haloed over your head. If the toss is on target, swing up to contact the ball. If the toss is not on target, don't even swing because it'll probably be a bad serve. Swing at about 30% of your full power. We don't want you to swing too fast. We just want you to make good contact with the ball. At the top of the swing, snap your wrist downward to bring the flight of the ball down. Complete the swing by allowing the racket to cross your body. The racket face finishes closed facing your outer leg. So how did you do? You have to get about 50% of the balls in the service box to claim passing grade on this section of the tennis lessons. So keep trying until you get that 50% in, and we'll see you on the next lesson.